Hello and welcome to Baron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and around these parts, it's Thanksgiving time. Yeah, Thanksgiving's later this week, and because of that, I've kind of had food on the brain lately. So today I thought I'd tell you guys about some food-themed games that I have. These are my collection of food-themed games. This one's kind of a technicality, and hey, at least one of them fits the big group theme that I usually have for this month. I'll knock out this one first here. Bananagrams is basically like solo Scrabble. It's actually for 1 to 8 players, and you have this big banana full of a bunch of little letter tiles. In Bananagrams, after every player has been dealt a pile of these letter tiles, you'll be setting them up Scrabble style or crossword style, trying to use all your letters to form words. Once someone has used all the letter tiles they were given, they call out peel, and everyone grabs another tile and tries to find another place to put it into their puzzle. You can rearrange your puzzle all you want if something doesn't fit, and if you end up having one you can't use, you can actually call out another thing, put it back, and take a couple more in its place to try and finish it up. Once there's not enough tiles for everyone to get one, then whoever uses all of their tiles ends up winning the game. If you like spelling games and you're a quick thinker, Bananagrams is a good game for you. I'm personally a pretty big fan of it. My mom, not so much. She loves spelling games, but she gets a little stressed out when things go fast. Next, I'll talk about Churrascaria, which you can already find a longer video for on my page. In Churrascaria, you and your friends are eating at a Brazilian steakhouse where waiters will come around giving you more food to your table. However, you'll want to try and eat the meat cards, as meat cards are worth points, whereas sides, desserts, and that are worth negative points, because this is really where you're getting the most bang for your buck on the price of all this. Meanwhile, you can use action cards to mess with your opponent's plates to try and switch around what food's where, get that out of here, give me something good. Hey look, even better. Eat the most meat to win. Like I said in my longer video for that game, the art is absolutely amazing. I love the fun take-that gameplay, but I will admit, I am biased as I am friends with the creator, but certainly, with playing up to 6 players, not a bad game to maybe bring to your next family gathering. Next, I'll talk about Ramen Fury. First off, love the packaging for this. You could almost confuse it for a normal pack of ramen. And the box on the inside just adds to the aesthetic of it all. In Ramen Fury, you're trying to be the first player to prepare and eat 3 bowls of ramen. Throughout the game, you'll be adding various ingredients to your bowls in front of you, and once you have a full bowl that you want to score, you'll end up just condensing all the cards and flipping it over to show that you've eaten it. First player to eat all 3 ends up ending the game, but what's important is the points you score. That's where the flavor packets come in. Each flavor packet gives the bowl a different way in scoring. Beef flavor gets you more points the more meat cards you put into it. Chicken ends up being based off of having pears and 3 of a kind. Shrimp wants a mix of meat and vegetables, whereas soy sauce is just the vegetable one. And Fury is the one way you can make sure you score off of what normally hurts you, chili pepper cards. There's a little bit of take that in this game where you can end up putting the chili peppers in other players' bowls, or the nori garnishes can either end up giving you just an extra point or so, or can kind of take up valuable space in your opponent's bowls. And there's also these little spoon tokens you can use to literally steal ingredients out of other players' bowls and move it over to your ramen bowls. It's a fun little game. It's up to 5 players, so it's not a bad player count. If you like ramen, if you like fun little scoring, like grouping kind of stuff, I think you'd be into it. Let's go on to the main game of this one, which is Sushi Go Party. Sushi Go Party is a card drafting game for up to 8 players, where you are all eating out at a sushi restaurant trying to grab food passes by on the conveyor belt. After setting up your menu from the wide variety of options, you'll end up finding the cards chosen and shuffling them into one big deck. Again, once you've found all your cards, shuffle them together into one big deck, and then depending on the number of players, you'll deal each player a certain number of cards. Each round, every player will look at their hand, and they will select one card from it to put face down in front of them. Once all players have done that, they will flip it over, and this is the card they have chosen to keep and draft. You will then pass your hand along to the player to your left, and take the hand from the player on your right, and repeat the process over and over again until you have drafted all the cards. At the end of the round, you will end up scoring the cards you collected. Each one scores in a slightly different way, which is stated on their little tiles here, or more in depth in the rulebook. Then, at the end of that, you'll end up tracking your score on the little counter here, and after 3 rounds, whoever is the highest wins the game. Now, there is a smaller version of this game that I think is a little more readily available, just called Sushi Go, not Party. I don't recommend getting that one. Get Party. Like, unless you just think you're not really going to like the game, get Party. It's so much more replayability because there's so many different options of the different types of food you can use. So with such a wide variety, you can play basically every game totally differently. And if that's not for you, if you just want to stick with the basic, foods and play that game over and over again, then sure, yeah, go get the cheaper Sushi Go one. But my recommendation is definitely get Sushi Go Party. There's so much variety to it, adorable little art. It's such an easy game you can play. It's literally just pick, put down. The only thing you have to understand is how your cards score. And again, playing with 8 players, good for pretty big groups in my opinion. Last I'll talk about Sushi Roll. Sushi Roll is a dice-based spin-off of Sushi Go. It is for up to 5 players, so again, not a bad player count, but not quite the 8 of Sushi Go Party. Again, you and your friends are eating sushi from a conveyor belt, and you are trying to draft dice to form your best little meal you can here. Each turn, you're going to end up rolling all the dice you have in front of you, and then selecting which one you'd like to draft to your plate. You can use menu tiles to re-roll dice that you want to try getting something better with. You can use chopsticks to try and swap one of your die with a die from another player. And again, like in the regular Sushi Go, each die has different facings on it, and each one scores differently. These being standard points, these being whoever collects the most of these symbols. The side one end up having 3 different types that you get more points on based on how many you collect of them. Nigiri boosting the points of these, giving you more menus and chopsticks, or the dessert that you want to try and collect for the end of the game, because it's dessert. Now, it's a very easy choice for me to say that I definitely like Sushi Go Party better than I like Sushi Roll. I think they're both fun games, but the amount of variety that Sushi Go Party has is just unbeatable, really. With Sushi Roll, you have your set dice, and those are always going to be the same dice you use every time you play. Now, I understand why they had to do that, because to include as many different dice as Sushi Go Party had cards would be insane. That would make that game crazy expensive to have all those custom dice and all that. And as far as I know, there's no expansions for the game, so this is what you have. Still, perfectly fun game. I like the dice. It turns it to a more turn-based thing where instead of everyone picking this up at the same time, you kind of pick your stuff one at a time, so that might feel a little slower than Sushi Go Party. So I guess if I had to pick one to keep in my collection, I'd pick Sushi Go Party. But if I don't have to, which I don't, I keep them both because I really do enjoy them both, and both of them have their times to shine. It's just simply that the other one has more variety, more player count to it. So it's probably my top pick, but both still great games. Totally recommend them both. Yes, I certainly did notice that most of my food games are Japanese food based. I'm sorry, I really like Japanese style food, but this is what I have. If you want to see more in-depth videos on any of these, just let me know, because generally, as a whole, these games are all fair and approved, y'all. I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and hey, if there's any games you guys should check out, let me know, because I would love me some good food games. See you next time.